Okay, great. So I think that we are ready to start. Hello, everyone. So I'm happy to greet you on our today's AMA with Paras. And today we have Ricky, Paras's founder, who will be answering our tricky questions and telling us more about Paras, which is actually the largest and the most famous NFT marketplace across the Near Protocol ecosystem. So say hello, Ricky, to the Spin community.
Hello guys, hello everyone.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
yeah, it's nice to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. To be able to talk with all the wonderful folks from the spin communities, and I'm very happy to share everything that we are doing and we did at Paras.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, just to make it clear how our conversation will be going on today, so this AMA will be actually divided into three parts. So, the first part will be some tricky questions from me to Ricky regarding what Paris is, what they are building, what is their roadmap, tech and token utilities, and so on. So, that will provide you with all the general information about the product and its plans. Then we have chosen a few quite nice questions from the community. You have already asked them in the general chat. And so Ricky will choose some of them to answer. Everybody whose question has been chosen will receive 5 near from the Paris team. And then so you are actually invited to write your questions right during the May if you have any in the general chat. And so together with Ricky, we will check whether maybe there will be some more interesting questions we will be happy to answer. Yeah, so I suggest that we start from that. So the first question is actually super general and that will onboard our users to what Paras is and how you're building and so on. So will you please quickly describe what is Paras? So just in a couple of sentences, a short elevator pitch.
All right. Well, basically, Paras is a digital collectible marketplace where we focus on supporting and developing crypto native IP. We work together with a lot of creators from small scale creators, from individual creators to big creators, and also brands, and making sure we can help them and scale their ideas, giving them utilities and use cases over their like NFTs and their digital assets. So that's pretty much it. We are a marketplace that supports the creators from small creators to big brands, and that's it. That's for us.
Mm-hmm. Very simple. So the concept is quite obvious. So an NFT marketplace that is actually connecting artists and companies to people, and so vice versa, right? Yeah. So another question from me is that so Paris is at the moment quite large. You have quite a big community, and of course there should be a story behind all that. So how did it all started? What were your first steps in terms of building Paris?
All right. Well, I actually really like this question because we started back in December, not really December. We started back in 2020. Um, and at first we were trying to build a decentralized social media. So it's not like we were trying to build NFT at the first time. So at first we were trying to build a decentralized social media. So we need a very scalable blockchain, which is why we choose Near Protocol back then. And a long story short, the social media was a failure, and we saw a big trend by the end of like quarter four 2020 about NFTs. I already know NFTs since 2018, but back then 2018, 2019, the bear market is crazy. The NFTs just it is as it's not as
Yeah, of
big as
course.
what we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So and quarter four 2020 we saw a big trend on NFTs, and that's where we choose to pivot Paros from a decentralized social media into an NFT marketplace. And I guess from day one we always think about the key differentiation between Paras and all the other marketplaces. Back then it was only maybe 5 or 7 marketplaces, or there Rarible just launched, and some other like marketplaces just popping out like non origins and Tezos, they have like OBGKT, something like that. um, and we believe that by building original and also crypto native IP with Paras, we can try to have some differentiation with other, compared to all the other marketplaces. So that is actually why we focus on supporting and developing the crypto native IP, created by our creators, created by our artists. We want our artists, we want our creators to start small, but they can keep developing their IP to become a much bigger medium. It could be comic, it could be games, it could be all the other things, because IP is just, you can do a lot of things if you have a good IP, right? You can even create a movie, a film out of your IP. So this is the way, of paras and artists can work together, and hoping to create a much bigger project in long term. So we are not thinking a short term where, you create a projects, you pump it, you dump it. We are not thinking like that. We want to have a smaller artist to grow their project and scale their projects with us. And well, near overall the scalability that we need, the user experience, and basically we want to make sure that we can onboard the mainstream people, the mainstream masses to the NFTs, to the blockchain, and making sure that they will choose Paras compared to all the other marketplaces out there.
Yeah, of course. So actually, I think that a very native and easy barrier to enter, and so the way it should be is actually very important, because right now it is usability that matters very much in terms of development, because there are ordinary people to use paras or to use spin, and we should make it super convenient, super easy. Yeah, definitely. That's cool. That's a very interesting story, and I think that few of our users knew that actually. So initially, it was something different, not actually marketplace, but it was a social media platform. Wow, so interesting. But how did you, by the way, come up with the idea of Paras naming? Because it's so interesting. So why Paras?
Yeah. Okay. So, um, well, Paras, you can translate. It can be translated like literally to face or persona, and it is an Indonesian language. It is a bahasa. Why we choose that? At first, because we were trying to build a social media, a decentralized social media, and we want our users to have their like online persona or like online face, hence the name Paras. But at the same time, Paras can also be translated to equal in English, which means that, like all the results that you receive are comparable to the efforts. Like it is equal to your efforts. Like results equals equal effort, right? So, we want Paras to run with this name as it reflects our day one philosophy, where the platforms like ourselves, we were start very small, and we are here to support the creators, and we want our creators, and also we want us to be able to continue continually, building something, creating something great, and that is actually our effort to do it. And we want to make sure that if we are giving a pretty big effort, we will have a pretty big results. So that's pretty much why we still use Paras as a name. I know, even though we are not like a decentralized social media, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We want to make sure that, all the hard works that these artists, that these creators that we have in Paras are doing, will be paid off in the later day.
Wow, so interesting. Yeah, so words and in Bahasa in Indonesian. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. And you have another product that is called Paras Comics. So what it is about? So can you share more about it? Because I think that most people do consider Paras to be just an NFT marketplace, and maybe they don't know about some. So other products, other features that you have. So, what is Paris Comics? So, for who did you design it?
Yeah. Um. Well. Yeah. Well, Paras Comic is an NFT project built on top of the Paras marketplace. Like you know, like it is actually one of the examples that we want to give to maybe all the developers out there that you can build something on top of the Paras. So it's not just a marketplace, but you can actually build something on top of our marketplace. And Paras Comics it is a one-stop solution platform for readers, collectors, and authors to communicate within one another, which will improve the comic reading experience. Um, and all the comics in Paras Comic are published in NFTs, which means that um, people can really collect the comics, the digital comics, just like the way they collect the real physical comics, because we are using NFT technology, right? Um, and also because all the comics in Paras Comics are NFTs, it can be used with all the other like NFT utilities out there. So that's also like the benefits of becoming an NFT projects, right? And we believe that by digitizing the comics, we can preserve the comic books for collectors and introduce us to the bigger media, to the bigger audiences. Like for example, if it is like a physical comic books, like for example, the physical comic books, let's say the Marvels one, the Marvels comic book. It is like in Indonesia we don't really have like the Marvels comic book here because we are pretty far away, right, from the United States. So
Right.
um, if it is a digital comic books and you can actually own it because it is an NFTs, then all people all around the world could be able to collect it and read it. So that's like the big vision of what we want to have with Paris Comics. and and why we choose comic, because it is like like no other projects are building it, like no marketplaces are building it, and we want to make, like I mentioned earlier, we want to have some kind of like differentiation with all the other marketplaces, and we want comic to be one of the differentiation where you know all the creators, all the artists on Paras, we can help them build the comics, we can teach them how to create a comics and create a story on top of their NFTs, so creating more utilities, creating more use cases to their IP, to their NFTs. And yeah, that's pretty much it about the Paras comic.
So, guys, if you are so a fan of Marvel or any other comics, of you, if you're creating some yourself, so please do check the Paris comics because so the concept actually sounds quite interesting. So, actually having a comics that is so digitalized, that is decentralized and crypto, so that's inspiring. So, we are moving to Web3 closer and closer. Yeah, and so if we have spoken about so creating something on Paris, how challenging it is to launch your own NFT collection on Paris, because so I see here in our community a few people who are very creative, who are sharing their own arts with the spin community quite regularly. So if they decide to have their own NFT collection, what do they need to do?
Right. So well if you can upload your photos on Instagram, then you can actually do the same thing. You can actually mint something on Paras. Like that's that's like it is very easy. But you know it is very simple, it's very easy. First thing that you need to have is is obviously the near wallet. So you can just log in with your near wallet, and you can create a collection right away. You can create a collections, you know like um, like the title, the logo, the description, the website, if you have, if you already have it, and that's it. You already create your collection. Once you have your collection ready, you can fill in uh, you can fill it with your NFTs. You can mint the NFTs. And how you can mint NFTs? First, it's very cheap because we are in a very scalable blockchain near protocol. It only costs maybe around 1 cent at the most, like maybe 0.05 cent. It's very cheap to mint NFTs on Paras and on Near. So once you have your ideas ready, you already you already created your collections. You can mint the NFTs one by one. That's like the easiest way for you if you want to start small with Paras. But if you already have a team, if you already have a big plan, a roadmap, and want to build something bigger, you can also partner with Paras, and we can actually connect you with some of these big launch pads, like like for example, we are currently partnering up with Anlip Launchpad by near Tinker Union, and we can help you launch your like 10K avatars projects for your for your community. So aside from that, it is very easy to build something on here, to launch something on Paras. And if you need any help, marketing, partnership, and everything else, feel free to reach out to our team. To just go to our Discord, chat with the team, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah, I should say that actually, so the Paras team is super friendly and super open in terms of so helping their users, navigating them through the product. And as you have heard, so it's really quite easy to launch your own NFT collection on Paras. And yeah, considering so, Near Protocol is actually one of the cheapest ecosystems and one of the cheapest blockchains so far. This process actually becomes so quite close to zero cost NFT collection launch. So if you have dreamed of some sign that will identify that you should get ready and start actually with some source of an NFT collection, then you should know that now it is a sign. So you can actually head for Paras and have your JPEGs uploaded and get started with some very nice NFT collection right ahead. Now I suggest that so we move to the token part because so Paras token has recently been listed on Spin. So it happened in something like 3 or 4 weeks ago, right? And I think that so the Spin audience is very interesting what they can do with the Paras token, what advantages and utilities it has. So apart from okay, so you have purchased a Paras token on Spin. So what's next? What you can do with it?
All right. Okay. So so we already plan like a lot of stuff, things that you can do with Paras tokens, but overall it is you know the Paras tokens, like right now you can use Paras token, you can stake your Paras token and get rewards. So we have these things that we call marketplace rewards programs. Basically it is a revenue sharing programs where 70% of all the revenue from the Paras marketplace will be distributed back to all the Paras token holders. Right now, it is around like 30%, 40% APR. So you're not only getting more Paras tokens by staking your Paras tokens, but you also receive near tokens as part of the marketplace rewards program. So it's not just Paras, but also near that came near that comes from the revenue that the marketplace receive. So it's not just like a Ponzi uh schema, but we like but the Paras marketplace actually makes money, create a generous revenue, and give it back to all the Paras token holders. And soon we are going to launch what we call the loyalty programs, and it will open up exclusive features and more benefits that comes through our partners. Like for example, we usually have this like whitelist giveaways, NFT giveaways, and a lot of other stuff that we do together with our partners. And most of these benefits, most of these rewards will only be accessed by the loyalty members. And soon, once we have the loyalty program started, um, like a lot, some of the features, some of the benefits can only be accessed, can only be joined by the loyalty members. And obviously, governance is also will be part of the use cases. Um, you can do like a lot of stuff, like for example manage the treasury that we will have later, and also you'll be able to to perhaps change some parameters, like for example the community wanted to increase or decrease the transaction fee, I mean that's okay. That will be, you will be able to vote on the transaction fee changes later on through the government's DAO, and that's pretty much it. Like three use cases: the revenue sharing programs, loyalty programs, and also the DAO. But we are not limited to all these, like to only these three features. We are also open to any other features. We are very open for suggestion from the communities. So please, if you have anything, just feel free to go to the to our Discord channels and give us ideas. If it is a good idea, then I believe we could talk and implement it.
Definitely, I think so. The community and the product should work closely with each other because so we're developing all that kind of stuff for the community to use, and it's super valuable to receive their feedback and suggestions and ideas and so on. So yeah, guys who are planning to participate in the upcoming trading tournament of Paras on Spin, so you now know that you have far more utilities in terms of Paras, so it's maybe worth to aggregate some and get ready for the tournament and so to participate in some programs currently offered on Paras. So the last question I want to ask you during this part of our AMA is actually so. I think that this one will be the most interesting to those who love to collect NFTs, to buy and sell them, and to choose new NFT collections and so on. Do you have some tips for the community of NFT collectors? So, I mean, how should people choose an NFT to buy? Maybe so some smart tips from you as a founder of the largest NFT marketplace.
All right. So well, I actually like collect a lot of NFTs. So there are actually like two types of NFTs that I collect. Like for example, the first one, because I just love the art, I just like the artist, and I buy it because I just want to hold it. And the second one is is more of like investment kind of thing, where I buy the NFTs because I think the price will be increased. So like for the first part, if you like the NFTs, just buy it right away. If you like the artist, just buy it right away. You don't need to think about anything. Maybe perhaps you need to think about like what how artistic the art is, or like what's the back, what's the back, what's the behind the scene of the art, for example. But the first one is pretty much your own personal taste. But the second one, if you think about the NFTs as an investment, there are a couple things that me personally did to assess how good an NFT project is. Like the first one is obviously the team. You want to make sure that um, you know the team behind the NFT could deliver the roadmaps. Um, yeah, the team could be a young artist with a great talent, or for example, it could be a team of smart engineers, or or he is like a big influencer on crypto, maybe. But one thing to consider is that you need to make sure that they're passionate about the products, about the projects, and they want to win, and they want to win big with their projects, right? Um, but sometimes the team is anonymous, and I'm actually not a big fan of anonymous team. So I think it's better to have the face of the team, like who they are, where they are coming from, what's their background, and everything else, compared to if they are like just like anonymous team, anonymous founders. But but overall, you need to do research about the teams and what they are capable of. Like for example, if they wanted to create um an NFT utility product, you want to make sure that the team has developers, right? Something like that. And that's for the team. And the second one is the roadmap. You want to make sure that the roadmap is solid, not too crazy, but not too like, not it's something that is manageable, but it can be big, it can be, it can be scaled, but not too crazy. Um, I'll just Also, just like what I mentioned earlier about about the team, you want to make sure that the team has the skill set to deliver the roadmap. Like creating a games, they need developers, they need game developers, they need artists, sound like a musician, like, and everything. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be that need to be created if they wanted to build games, right? So making sure that the teams and the roadmap can be matched, they can deliver the roadmap. And the last, obviously, the community. You can jump into their Discord, jump into their Telegrams, whatever they have, and try to interact with all the other communities, all the other like members. Check if the community is active, or for example, if the community is full of bots. You can just take a look at it in a glance. If it is like full of bots, maybe for example they have like 5,000 users, 5,000 members, but the chats the chat is like very quiet, so just leave if that is the case. So make sure that the community is active and the community hype with the products, and like the community is also like the marketing part of the project. So the bigger the community, the bigger the marketing will be. So that's like the three top things that you need to be considered if you want to if you wanted to purchase an NFT as you know I'll say as a good investment. Personally, that's what I do for my research. But there are a lot of other there are a couple more things that you can do. But those are like the three top things that you need to consider.
Thank you. That's a very detailed and useful answer. So to sum it up, guys, so always take care about the team, its background, maybe project that is backing this or that NFT collection. Then the roadmap that should be ambitious, that can be ambitious, but always achievable, and the community, of course, because the community is the driving engine of any project, of any product, not only on Near Protocol, but also across all chains. So that were all my questions. So now we move to the second part. So we have received quite many questions to Ricky within these days. And first, I have aggregated them to one sheet. And so Ricky has chosen a few questions he would love to answer. I will also now read the questions and read the near wallet of the user who has asked it. And so this user will actually receive a reward after our AMA. So the first question is from Mint Club Near. So the question is your teaming looking at increasing the utility of NFTs beyond fungibility, like ticketing, etc., so as increase adoption? So do you have any plans in terms of that?
Yes, obviously, like especially in the sorry, especially in the bear market, right? Like this, right? Um, like right now, all the crypto projects right now don't have the luxury of having like a crazy degen that generates 5,000x in a month. So basically, all the crypto folks are broke right now, and so like as as a project, you need to innovate. You need to think about how you can onboard the other niche. Like for example, we can rely only on the crypto users. We want to make sure that we can onboard the mainstream masses. And one of the use cases, one of the utilities for NFTs to create is by selling tickets. As of right now, ticketing is not really our priority, but we are actually in talks with couple organizer and also couple bands to see if we could do something together, like creating festivals on top of and build the ticket on top of the NFTs. That is very possible. Um, but not but outside ticketing, we were already created a lot of other stuff. Like for example, we just launched we partner up with this game studio, and we just launched this play to earn game called Castle Overlord. Um, soon, later on, maybe in a month or two, around like 4 weeks, we are going to launch Lacroft NFT, where we partner with this great team, great entrepreneurs to build the first um, I'll say the first digital fashion marketplace on here, and yeah, it's gonna be other use cases for for the NFTs, right? And some of the other thing that we are currently doing is partnering up with big brands to see how we can leverage their communities, their their customers, to make sure we can onboard all these like big customers from these big brands. So there are in the bear market, I believe all the other projects are doing the same thing, and we want to make sure that Paras is like Paras is like catching up with what happened in the crypto ecosystem, and I want to make sure that we can survive the bear market, and if not, we can not and if not, then we can just onboard a lot of like big users, big audiences from the non crypto background. So yeah, I think that's pretty much the plan for utilities.
Great. So actually, in my opinion, so beer markets are actually perfect timing to build to suggest new ideas because so the news feed is actually quite empty and you can so be the innovator, be the driving engine in all these so quite silent DeFi space. So your announcements will be much more visible because so the competition for the news feed is not that strong. Yeah, so that's a very nice plan. Thank you so much for answering. So another question is from an address ending in BD6CO. So it's not some address that has so any name. Does Paris have any plans for an audit? So this is a security question.
Yep. Obviously, right now we are currently engaging with couple security firms to audit our smart contracts. Still looking who's the best fit for us because we want to make sure that they have a good experience with near blockchain and they have a solid portfolio. And yeah, soon I think soon the our smart contracts will be audited, and we want to make sure that it can be done as soon as possible because we want to make sure that all the transactions, all our users from both artists, creators, collectors, and everyone that uses Paras are funds are safe. And that's really our priority right now to make sure that we can like our smart contract can be audited as soon as possible with the best security firms out there.
Beautiful. Yeah, totally agree. So we have recently had an audit by Block Apex, and we have a few more audits in our plans because so you need to be 100%. You can never be 100% sure, but you need to do so 100% you can to ensure that your users are safe. Yeah, thank you. So the next question is from sleepo.near. Will Paras handle some contests with tasks like it is implemented in Project Galaxy? For example, some activity like trading, purchasing NFT collections, staking, etc. So, any plans like that?
um yeah so we actually have this like bi-monthly events called card for card, where we reward you if you buy and sell NFTs, if you create NFTs, if you buy NFTs, if you collect a lot of NFTs, if you create a lot of NFTs. We, it is actually a competition. Like Card for Card is a bi-monthly competition where the collectors that collect the most NFTs will be rewarded with I forget like the numbers, but a few $100 if I'm not mistaken. Also for the creators, if their NFTs are collected by a lot of collectors, they will also receive rewards, couple $100 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we already implemented some of these like contests or like competitions. 3 4 months ago, we launched we have this like art competition with environment as a theme, and I think and I think we can also do it again later on this year. Not only Paras Marketplace but also Paras Comic also did couple championship, couple comic tournaments. So yeah, we already did it. But I think you actually give us some kind of like ideas. For example, trading, purchasing, NFTs collection. I think we can try to create a competition that is more specific to, for example, purchasing NFTs. So it's not like, it's not like card for card that we usually have, where where people are like buying and selling cheap NFTs. But we might be able to do like what Spin Finance do right now, the trading competition, where the ones with the highest profit might win. So I think that's a great idea, and I'm going to try to discuss it with my team internally.
Great. So you have received some profit, some value from our today's AMA. Yeah, our community is super cool, and so always suggesting some cool ideas. I'm happy to hear that. Okay. And the last question, so before we move to the next part, is from an address that is ending with 88E76. My question is, I'm an artist and I consider launching an NFT collection on Near. Do you have some tips for new creators how to stand out? Does Paris support artists somehow in terms of collection promo maybe? So,
Um,
what do you think?
yeah. So tips for new creators on how to stand out. W- Well, there are a couple things that you can do. First, if you have a great art, not the great art, but unique art, that could be one of the, like, one of the thing that you can promote, that you have a unique art. Um, and also you might need to start talking, create a brand on Twitter. Try to talk with collectors, try to talk with other artists, try to join the artist community, try to talk you know try to talk to as many people as possible in the ecosystem. That's how that's how they will know you. Once they know you, they have this sense of like, I believe in you, I want to, I want to purchase NFTs from you. There's like easy tips for you that you need to do, aside from creating a great and unique art. But not only that, have if you already have like a big idea on what kind of projects that you wanted to launch. For example, maybe you wanted to launch these NFTs that can be used as a, for examples, as a membership to a cafe, for example, or as a membership to a certain communities, maybe trading communities, or anything like that. That is also very possible, because once like cannot you know people cannot only see it as a great art, but it also has other utility, which you know bring more value to your NFTs. And does Para support the artists? Yes, we, like I mentioned earlier, we supported a lot of artists. We feature we feature great art, unique and innovative projects that is not only created by a team of people, but by individual creators as well. So you know make sure that you are creating an innovative products, sorry, innovative NFTs, innovative projects. And to for sure we will be able to help you, we will be able to work together with you to promote your projects and to help you grow.
Thank you. That sounds very inspiring. Yeah. Thank you so much. So now I suggest to have for the general talk chat. So Ricky, please have a look at it. We have a few questions from the community that were asked right as we were speaking here today. So feel free to take your time and choose maybe a couple of questions to answer for the for at the last but not latest, I think, questions today. So, guys, if you have any other questions to Ricky, please feel free to submit them and let us know. So, what interests you? So take your time when you're ready. Please read them out and answer.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, now perfect.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure um what happened, but actually I already picked this question from H Rishi 1307. That, I don't know. Should I just
Yeah,
react
yeah,
or?
yeah, yeah. You can just read it out. I have marked it. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, yeah. So, if I like to launch my NFTs, what will be my requirement to list on Paras platform? There are two ways that you can do to be listed on the Paras marketplace. The first one is obviously using our UI, using our website. You can just create a collections and then mint NFTs to that collection. Relatively easy, very straightforward, and once you do it, like it's already listed on the Paras marketplace. And the second way is to have your own like smart contracts. If you have a team of developers, if you have a solid ideas, you want to build something big, then I suggest you to have your own like smart contract. You only need to comply with the near NFT standard. Very straightforward. There are a lot of tutorials. There are a lot of examples, templates that you can try, that you can use. And once you already have that, you can just contact our developers group on Telegram. You can find it through our API documentation. What we need is this is only smart contracts. Some of the other things, like for example banners, images, image for your collections, descriptions, social media links, and also websites. Once you have that, you can just give it to us through our like Telegram groups, developer Telegram group, and we will list it. Once you want us to list it, for example, please list it at 3 p.m. UTC, for example. Then yeah, we will be able, we will list it at that time. So very easy. There are two ways that you can do. It's really up to you which one that you want to use. um so yeah, that's it for. Yeah, also on now. Okay, this one from Chino. What's the benefits of being a loyalty member? um so like I mentioned earlier, there are a couple benefits. First is that you'll be able to use certain features that will only be available by the loyalty members, mostly analytic stuff, something like that. And the second is that you will be able to um, to participate in a giveaways. It could be whitelisted. It could be whitelist giveaways. It could be NFT giveaways. It could be a couple other great things. Like for example, if we partner with Projects A, and Projects A wants to do something, we will prioritize the loyalty part. We will prioritize the loyalty members to take part of this like activities. So yeah, those are the kind of benefits that you guys will receive if you are being if you are being part of the loyalty members.
Right.
Uh,
Thank you so much, Ricky. And that's actually so. Yeah. Do you want to add something?
um, I think that's it.
Okay, brilliant. That was actually a very interesting conversation. So you're a great guest, and it was really fun and interesting speaking to you today. And I think that so the community of Spin also enjoyed listening to our AMA today. So now I suggest that so we stay ahead for more news. Actually, so this AMA will be its recap will be also posted across Spin socials quite shortly. And some of the answers, some of the insights shared today will help you to successfully complete tomorrow's quiz that will include questions both about spin and about paras. So, just as we usually do, so our traditional quizzes, you guys all know how it works actually. And on Friday, we will publish the teaser regarding the upcoming trading tournament of Paras on Spin. So it will give you some very juicy rewards, both in terms of near tokens and in terms of some very precious NFTs that are actually one of the top NFTs across the near ecosystem. So stay tuned, Ricky. If you have anything else to say to the Spin community, feel free to do that.
Yeah, so yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me, for having me speaking anything related to the NFTs and Paras here. I hope everything that I shared with you could be beneficial, could be a good things for you guys. And even though like perhaps most of you are like DeFi enthusiasts, you can just play around with NFTs, try to see, whatever, try to have some fun with the NFTs. So it's not just, finance all the way. You can also have some fun with NFTs, right? So, and yeah, maybe, good luck for everyone and also the team for the, for the trading tournament. I hope to see, a great a great competition, yeah. I'll say a great and competitive things to happen at the trading competitions. And and yeah, it is a bear market, but try to
Let's
have
rock
some
and
fun.
roll. Yeah,
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
definitely. Thank you so much, Ricky. Thank you so much, guys, for coming today. And so have a great week ahead and a great day. So see you. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.